There are few names in Hollywood that carry the weight and mystique of Johnny Depp. For decades, he was one of the most recognizable and bankable stars in the world, a man known for his chameleon-like performances, unconventional roles, and rebellious charm. But behind the carefully crafted characters and dazzling red carpets was a much more complicated story, a story that would eventually explode into full public view, not on a movie set, but in a courtroom. This is the rise, fall, and resurgence of Johnny Depp, a man who went from Hollywood royalty to a global scandal, and who fought for more than just his reputation. He fought for his name. Let's take a deep dive into the life, the controversy, and the possible redemption of one of the most talked about figures in modern entertainment, the rise of a reluctant star. Johnny Depp's story begins not in Hollywood, but in Owensboro, Kentucky. He was born on June 9th, 1963, the youngest of 4 siblings in a family that was constantly on the move. By the time he was a teenager, his family had relocated more than 20 times, finally settling in Florida. Depp's childhood was turbulent. His parents divorced when he was 15, and he found solace in music. That same year, he dropped out of high school to become a rock musician. He played guitar in local bands and lived the dream of every garage rocker, touring, recording, and surviving on passion more than pay. But fate took an unexpected turn when a friend introduced him to actor Nicolas Cage. It was Cage who encouraged Depp to try acting. Skeptical but willing, Depp auditioned and landed a role in A Nightmare on Elm Street in 1984. It wasn't a leading role, but his unique screen presence caught attention. Then came 21 Jump Street. The television series turned him into a teen idol almost overnight. His face was on magazine covers, and millions of fans tuned in each week. But for Depp, the fame fell hollow. He wasn't interested in being a star. He wanted to be an artist, the artist behind the eccentric role, rather than chase typical leading man roles. Depp took a different path. He aligned himself with offbeat directors like Tim Burton and embraced characters who were odd, damaged, and imaginative. In Edward Scissorhands, he portrayed a gentle outcast with blades for fingers, a role that established his reputation as a serious actor willing to take risks. From there, he took on a series of unconventional projects: Benny and June, Ed Wood, Dead Man, and Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Each role further cemented his image as a fearless performer drawn to the strange and surreal. Through the 90s and early 2000s, Depp avoided mainstream Hollywood formulas, building a career on artistic integrity rather than box office appeal. But everything changed in 2003 with the release of Pirates of the Caribbean: The Curse of the Black Pearl. As Captain Jack Sparrow, Depp delivered a performance unlike anything audiences had seen in a Disney blockbuster. His swagger, slurred speech, and eccentric style baffled executives but delighted fans. The role earned him his first Academy Award nomination and launched a billion-dollar franchise. Suddenly, the actor who had once rejected stardom became one of Hollywood's most bankable names. For years, Depp was at the top of the A-list. He commanded massive salaries and global box office success. Yet, even at the height of fame, he remained somewhat enigmatic, an outsider who had somehow become a king. Despite the commercial success, Depp never fully abandoned his artistic instincts. He continued to choose roles that intrigued him rather than those that simply promised profit. Whether playing the Mad Hatter, Sweeney Todd, or Tonto, Depp brought his signature blend of unpredictability and intensity to every performance. The dark side of fame. While Depp's career soared, his personal life became increasingly complicated. He had high-profile relationships with actress Winona Ryder, model Kate Moss, and French singer Vanessa Paradis, with whom he had 2 children. For many years, his relationship with Paradis appeared stable and grounded, contrast his often eccentric public persona. However, in 2012, Depp and Paradis announced their separation after more than a decade together. Not long after, Depp began dating actress Amber Heard, whom he met while filming The Rum Diary. The couple married in 2015, but the relationship quickly unraveled. In 2016, Heard filed for divorce and obtained a temporary restraining order against Depp, alleging he'd been physically abusive during their marriage. The allegations made global headlines, and Depp fiercely denied them, insisting he was the one who suffered abuse. What followed was a highly publicized legal battle and media frenzy. The press and public were sharply divided. Some rallied behind Heard as a survivor, while others defended Depp, questioning the veracity of the claims. The controversy cast a long shadow over Depp's career and reputation. Studios distanced themselves, and roles began to dry up. The once revered actor found himself not just fighting for his image, but also for his place in an industry that had once celebrated him. In 2018, Amber Heard published an op-ed in the Washington Post. Though she didn't name Johnny Depp directly, she described herself as a survivor of domestic abuse. The implications were clear, and the fallout was swift. Depp filed a $50 million defamation lawsuit against Heard, claiming that the article had cost him roles, including the next Pirates of the Caribbean film. Heard responded with a $100 million countersuit, accusing him of trying to silence her. The legal drama became public spectacle. In 2020, Depp lost a libel case against the British tabloid The Sun, which had referred to him as a wife beater. The UK court ruled that the paper's claims were substantially true. The verdict further damaged his reputation, but Depp pressed forward. In 2022, the defamation case against Heard won a trial in Virginia. The trial was televised, drawing millions of viewers. The testimony was deeply personal and often disturbing. Private messages, audio recordings, and photos were shown to the world. The proceedings blurred the line between justice and entertainment. The verdict and redemption. After 6 weeks of testimony and days of deliberation, the jury reached its decision. They ruled in favor of Johnny Depp, finding that Heard had acted with actual malice in her op-ed. He was awarded more than $10 million in damages. Heard also won one of her counterclaims and was awarded $2 million. But the overall result was seen as a major legal and public relations victory for Depp. He issued a public statement, saying that the jury had given him his life back. For many fans and observers, it marked a moment of redemption. Depp, who had been effectively blacklisted from major film roles, now had a chance to rebuild his image. The verdict sparked intense debate. Some saw it as a blow to survivors of domestic abuse. Others believed it was a necessary correction to a media narrative that had gone unchecked for years. Regardless of perspective, the trial had become a turning point, not just in Depp's career, but in how society views public accusations and celebrity accountability. Life after the storm. In the months after the trial, Johnny Depp stepped out of the Hollywood spotlight and focused on personal pursuits. He returned to music, spending time with longtime friends and collaborators. He also explored painting and visual art, sharing his work with the public. In 2023, Depp made a cinematic return with a role in the French-language film Jean du Barry, playing King Louis XV. It marked his first major film since the trial and was seen by some as the beginning of a new chapter. Whether or not Hollywood fully embraces him again remains to be seen. Some studios remain cautious. Others recognize that Depp still commands a devoted global audience. What's certain is that Depp has lived one of the most dramatic public lives of any modern actor. His story is one of talent, turmoil, and survival. It is also a story about fame, the way it can lift someone to extraordinary heights, and the way it can come crashing down in an instant. Johnny Depp's journey is far from over. He has lived through the extremes of fame and scandal, admiration, and condemnation. Through it all, he has remained a fiercely individual artist, never afraid to follow his own path. He reminds us that in a world driven by headlines and public opinion, truth is often complicated, and redemption doesn't come easy. From Hollywood royalty to courtroom chaos, and now, perhaps, to something like peace, this is the story of a man who refused to be defined by his worst moments. If you found this story compelling, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more true stories that go beyond the surface.